Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's another beautiful Friday morning of the 22nd of August 2025. Welcome to the Muslim Insight Show. My name is Zamzam Ahmed and my sign language interpreter is Ilhan Noor. Today we will be doing the Friday Bulletin Review, and I am joined by Brother Saeed Abdallah, who is an executive officer here at Jamia Mosque, Nairobi. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good.
MashaAllah.
Thank you for inviting me once again.
Afwan, welcome. Now we are doing the Friday Bulletin Review, and I believe you have a soft copy with you. From the front page, I can see that it has been quoted, "I will focus on uniting Muslims," Acting Chief Qadi Sukyan says. Now we have, this is Chief Sukyan, the Acting Chief Qadi Sukyan, or rather Sheikh Sukyan Hassan Omar was appointed as the Acting Chief Qadi here in Kenya after the passing of the former Chief Qadi.
Sheikh Abdul Halim.
Yeah, yes. May Allah
grant her Jannah.
Granting Jannah.
Jannah.
Now, the acting Chief Qadi Sukyan says, "I will focus on uniting Muslims." First of all, let's look at what's the importance or what's the role of a Chief Qadi.
Basically, the Chief Qadi is the head of the Qadi's courts in Kenya, and normally manages the other Qadis. There is a bit of a structure, and the Qadi sits at the top of that structure. Chief Qadi sits at the top of that structure. I think historically, the Qadis were mostly at the coastal strip, but with time, the Qadis were posted everywhere in Kenya. So, and I think at the advent of the 2010 Constitution, every other area where there's a concentration of Qadis, then you have a Qadi appointed there. So the judiciary normally have a structure. And the Chief Qadi is the head of the Qadi's courts in Kenya. So normally, maybe when a matter is at Qadi or principal Qadi, then the Chief Qadi gives direction on how those matters are sorted out. But of course, matters can also escalate to either the High Court, Court of Appeal, and up to the Supreme Court, as we've seen in the recent case on the inheritance of children out of wedlock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Sheikh Sukyan Hassan Omar was the deputy Chief Qadi before being appointed as the acting Chief Qadi. And when a person is appointed or given a role from his character or maybe from the way he's been working. So, according to you, how has Sukyan been performing as the deputy Chief Qadi before being appointed as the acting Chief Qadi?
He was also deputy Chief Qadi when the previous Chief Qadi retired, and he's been holding that position. And if you see somebody has been appointed and has held these positions once or twice, then of course there's merit and there's consistency in his service. And I have nothing but admiration to our brother Sheikh Sukyan Hassan, and I wish him all the best in his duties. I know it is not a very easy place to be because of the dynamics of our Kenyan society here, especially when it comes to things like moon sighting and all those things. But I appreciate his his efforts for unity. Unity is very important, very important, and communities prosper because they're united. You know, I always tell people, if you want to see unity, look at a place like Westlands. You know, the people there came together and said we have to do better. Okay. And today Westlands is it's a town on its own. You know, you know, and you can compare Westlands with some other places in Nairobi where, you know, certain communities were given the same, you know, space. Yet 50 years later, you know, those places, let me not name them, you can imagine them. They cannot compare. You know, of course there are a lot of historical issues which you can point out, but lack of unity has been one of the issues which cause a lot of bickering and lack of development and lack of focus and lack of progress. Okay. So unity to me is essential. And I think he is right on point. Okay. We just hope that and wish him the very best in his new appointment or his new role. Yes. Now, on the same page, on the front page, I can see that there is a picture. And I am correct to say that you are on the picture. Maybe you can have that I've been telling them not to put my picture on this, but...
Okay, so they say Jamia staff offered an Umrah trip to Makkah. How essential is an Umrah trip to a Muslim?
The Umrah is the lesser of the Hajj. I mean, Umrah, the rewards of Umrah, for example, are enormous. And they have been encouraged by our religion, as you may know. And this is basically kind of an incentive to our staff, for those who have dedicated their life to basically Jamia Mosque. Some of our staff are here more hours than they're at home. You know, and they put in a lot of efforts, and we have to encourage them, we have to support them. And some of these packages, when we see who is deserving and who needs this kind of promotion, so that the other staff can also work harder, and hard work is rewarded. Okay.
Now, you've talked about who is entitled, maybe someone who can get this opportunity. Now we know that Jamia is a big mosque. Yes. It has so many people. It has done so many things to the people. It has impacted many people, many Muslims, right? And when you talk about who deserves this chance, what exactly are you looking at? And I believe there are so many other staffs in Jamia.
Actually, on this case, this is there was a sponsor. Who actually, it is the sponsor who recognized the efforts of our brother Rashid Mwangi. It's not even Jamia who selected. Okay. You know, when you work here, people see. Yeah. And those who are working can easily be seen. You know, so it is this sponsor who came out and said, no, I want to give my brother a chance to go for Umrah. And Alhamdulillah, that is, the rest is history. He's already there, he's performing his Umrah, and mashallah, and we are keeping in touch. Okay. So it is not even Jamia sometimes that comes and says, oh, we want to give this stuff. We normally have our appraisals and we see who has performed better. And we try to encourage our staff. Yeah, and whatever little we can give, we normally give. But other sponsors normally are also seeing what our staff are doing. We have staff who are here daily, including Sunday. If you come here on Sunday, you will see them, Zamza. Okay. And they say this is actually almost their primary home. You know, and their house at home is the secondary home. Because, you know, a lot of things have, at the back end, you see things working, but there are people who are making sure that when you come for Salah, you are comfortable. Okay. Yeah, the lights are working, the water is pumped. You know, where there are any maintenance issues, those are taken care of as fast as possible.
That means as much as, or maybe as they are doing it for earning something or getting something to put on their table, they are doing it out of their willingness also.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I read whatever has been written here below the picture, like it says, Jamia Mosque Nairobi, Executive Officer, which is you, Said Abdallah, hands over a ticket and Umrah visa to the mosque's long-serving Assistant Head of Maintenance, Rashid Mwangi. A well-wisher sponsored Mr. Mwangi's trip to holy city of Makkah and Medina, Saudi Arabia, to perform Umrah in recognition of his unwavering dedication, commitment, and hard work in serving worshippers and maintaining the facilities of Jamia Mosque, Nairobi, over the years. There is a message that is coming out from this sponsorship. What message does it bring to other people, or maybe to other staff who are working here at Jamia Mosque?
Hard work pays.
Okay.
Hard work pays. And your efforts are being seen, and they will be seen.
Okay.
Yeah, those who are here early, those who leave late, those who, you know, as we are a mosque, but we also, employers there are certain things they're looking for.
Okay.
They're looking for people who complain less, who are helpful, who are ready to take initiatives, who are, you know, don't give a lot of excuses, and who are ready to learn new skills, you know, and explore. And those are the things that employers look for. And I always tell my staff that over and above that, this is a house of Allah.
Yeah.
And it is Allah who has brought you here.
Yeah.
And once that sinks in, it is not about, you know, it's about what efforts can you put to ensure that you leave this place better than you found it. You know, and nobody needs to follow you around. You know, once you know what you're supposed to do, you're supposed to be somebody who people should not be remembering you for excuses and blame, but people should remember you for the excellent work that you've done. Yeah, so we should do a lot of encouraging. Those who are lagging behind, let us encourage them. Those who are excelling, let us promote them. Let us give them things that they can feel that my hard work is not going to waste, but is being recognized. Yeah, and of course there are those who they'll be struggling. Let's sit with them privately and encourage them. That is my style, basically.
As an appreciation token, mashallah, that is really amazing. And I can say that is a wake-up call to you. Anybody who's working here at Jamia, or wherever you are working, you don't know where this well-wish will be coming, and will support your hard work, will support your effort. Anyways, let's look at other story. We have the Islamic scholar urges parents to prioritize madrasa education. There is a reason behind the Islamic scholar urging parents to prioritize madrasa education. What's this reason? What could this reason be?
The reason is obvious, Zamzam. The issue of madrasa education. You see, historically, madrasa has been our educational heritage, our educational pathways. It has always been madrasa. And madrasa has historically been where we have never actually differentiated between so-called secular education and Islamic education, you know. But it has been at the madrasa where all education has been found. All the Islamic thinkers, you know, they started with they were essentially also Muslim scholars. You know, all of them, if you look at them, whether the chemists and the mathematicians, most of them were scholars in Islam. You know, and it is Islam that led them towards the thinking around philosophy, around mathematics, around all the other sciences. So you cannot. So for what the scholar is trying to say, the Sheikh, is that we need to rekindle that spirit of madrasa education. We need. At the moment, madrasa is recognized in the in our laws, in our statutes, and we have freedom of religion, of course. And the challenge is how to integrate those who want to go to madrasa, and then later want to enter the so-called formal education. How do we move that? How do we smoothly arrange that movement of the child? Because in many places in Kenya, parents want to take their children to madrasa, maybe to Duksi for some time, you know, and then later on to take them maybe to school. Or some parents even may not want to take them to school at all, but they want them to concentrate on Islamic education through madrasa. How do we harmonize those two tensions, you know, so that at the end of the day we have a child who is ethical, and we have a citizen and a country that we can be proud of. And that is essentially, I think, what the Sheikh is trying to say, that, and in many cases, those who go to madrasa and excel, actually excel also in formal or secular education. Yeah.
Okay, I think yesterday there were some students who are coming from different countries like Russia. They have gone there to compete, Quran competition, and they managed top 3. We had 3 students who topped. We had number 1 here from Nairobi, Mus'ab Education Center. We also have a number 2 who's still from Nairobi, and we also have number 3. Imagine
Mashallah.
securing 3 positions at a go.
Mashallah.
So what does it mean to the people?
I think we are very proud of our students and our children, and it just essentially buttresses what the Sheikh is trying to say, that we should never neglect our madrasa education.
Okay.
We should never. And we should, even for those who maybe they went to madrasa but they couldn't finish for one reason or another, there's always opportunity. You know, there's always opportunity. I know growing up, sometimes you could see people used to bring a sheikh who started at home to keep on teaching those who, you know, wale walitoroka madrasa, you know, so those kind of things. But I think also...
Okay, before you even continue, I don't know if you've ever heard of these kids complaining about being taught too much or being beaten too much.
That is exactly where I was going. Yeah, that we also need to train some of our madrasa teachers in child psychology, in some of these behavioral sciences, you know, because a child goes to madrasa, a child goes to nursery school or preschool, and the teachers are hugging the child, they're giving the child milk, they're giving the child sweets. The child is very happy there. There are places the place is clean, there are places to go and you know, and play. It's a very friendly place for children. But when the child goes to madrasa, the child wants to cry. So we have to really, and then if you see the state of some of our madrasas, they are really in a deplorable state. You know, they need to be. The madrasas have to wake up and reform and change. Of course, sometimes when a madrasa there are almost 50 kids, there's only 1 toilet. You know, or 2 toilets, you know, and it's the same. Yeah, and I know the history. There's so many dynamics because of that. But then we have to improve, and we have to do some training in this. Muslim Education Council is trying to do a lot of that, but it's not easy because you need the whole community to come together and see that madrasa education is not left on its own devices, but it is helped so that it needs someone to run. So that the potential for it, you know, there is a lot, And so that those madrasas that are, they can actually learn from the madrasas that are first-class madrasas, you know, and we help our teachers in learning some of these other subjects, which will improve and increase the understanding, especially in terms of child welfare, child welfare and child psychology. Those are some of the areas I think if we reform, our madrasas will do better.
Okay. When you talk about reform, when you talk about the whole community, I believe also, other than, apart from the school system or the normal school that we normally go, the madrasa education, it's a collaboration effort.
Yes.
It's for the kids, it's for the parents, it's for the teachers also, the ustadas and ustads. Maybe one word or maybe a few words for them concerning the madrasa education and how they can build the madrasa in future also.
The key word is coming together for the sake of the madrasa child, person going for, the children going for madrasa. I think we need to come together and work together. There's a lot to be done, legally, socially, awareness, you know. There's a lot to be done, and I'm happy to say that together with other organizations, Muslim Education Council, of which I'm a member of, it's trying its best to do some of these things, but it's a big challenge, and I would say that we need to support the council to come together and reform and improve the madrasas, because it's about, like for example, now the madrasa curriculum has been approved. We have already an approved madrasa curriculum. And the idea is to move towards a state where even the examinations will be done officially by the Kenya National Examination Council, such that the certification you get once you move will be officially recognized. Right now, you can go to madrasa for years, but whatever you've learned is neither here nor there in the, you know, grand scheme of things. And the idea is to ensure that that certification you get can help you, you know, and is recognized by the government. And even if you apply for a job in somewhere, that certificate is recognized. It is to recognize that those years spent, you've been spending them learning, you know, and you can compete with any other person with any other certificate. Yes. Okay.
And I can see time is really moving so fast.
Yes.
And I believe in our second segment we are going to talk about the Halaal Scientific workshop that will be taking place here in Nairobi next week, inshallah. And we will be having the ambassador of Somalia to Kenya, Honorable Jabril, who will be here with us to talk about the Halaal Scientific workshop. And as we wait for him, we will be taking a short break. Stay tuned.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون.
Enyi mlioamini, munapoitwa kuhudhuria swala ya Ijumaa, fanyeni haraka kuikimbilia, muache biashara zenu, hilo ni bora ikiwa mwelewa.
Isikilizeni kwa umakinifu khutba ya Ijumaa
ili uzidi kujenga imani yako na kupata faida nyingi ya siku hii.
Coming to you every Friday from Jamia Mosque, Nairobi.
Live on Horizon TV.
kitabu chenye uongofu kilichoteremshwa kwa mpangilio maalum.
Sura ikiitwa Madania inamaanisha iliteremshwa Mtume sallallahu alaihi wasallam alipokuwa kwa Madina.
Kila sura imepewa jina rasmi na sababu zake za kimsingi.
Inaitwa Suratun Nisa'il Kubra, sura ya wanawake kubwa.
Fahamu sababu za kuteremshwa Qur'an na matukio ya kipekee katika utaratibu huu.
Asema Mwenyezi Mungu wa Nuha, nakumbukeni kisa cha Nuh, tumpomlingania kabla, tukamjibu yale mambo aliyoyaomba, tukawa ni wenye kumwokoa yeye na ahli yake.
Ungana na Profesa Muhammad Salim Badamana katika malengo ya Qur'an kila siku ya Jumapili saa 11 kamili jioni katika Horizon TV.
قال تعالى في محكم تنزيله بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Nasaha kutoka pwani.
هذا الدين قال الله قال الرسول قال الصحابة هم أولو العرفان. انتهى.
Ili kuongoza kwenye njia iliyonyoka.
Sikizeni hadithi hii ya Mtume alayhi salatu wasalam.
Hakuna atakayeweza kumfungia mtu mlango ambaye Mwenyezi Mungu aliyemfungulia.
Kuimarisha imani yako.
ثبت قلوبنا على دينك وعلى طاعتك.
Ungana na mashekhi wetu kutoka pwani kwenye mimbar.
Mimbar zinamwakilisha Mtume sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
Ni Jumamosi na wakati saa 3 usiku katika Horizon TV, runinga uipendayo. Pearls of Wisdom.
Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him, narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, O Allah, I take refuge in you from anxiety and sorrow, weakness and laziness, miserliness and cowardice, the burden of debts, and from being overpowered by men. Quote of the day. Uthman bin Affan radiyallahu anhu said, do not quarrel and do not create differences among yourselves. Hold fast to the rope of Allah and maintain unity in your ranks.
Horizon TV, the beacon for the nation.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to another episode, or rather the second segment of the Muslim Insight Show. And in this segment we are going to talk about the Halaal Scientific Workshop. And in studio, other than having Brother Saeed Abdallah, we also have the Ambassador of Somalia to Kenya, Honorable Jabril Ibrahim Abdullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you doing this morning?
Alhamdulillah.
It's really an honor having you here with us today. Karibu sana Horizon. Now we're talking about the Halaal Scientific Workshop that will be held in Nairobi next week, inshallah. Maybe we can get to know about this Halaal Scientific Workshop. What is it all about?
Well, thank you very much. I'm very much pleased to be here with you today, and alhamdulillah. Halal Scientific or Halal Workshop that will take place next week will be the first its kind to be held in Kenya, particularly Nairobi. And this process started about a year ago when I visited in Thailand at the invitation extended to me and my embassy by the Royal Thai Embassy here in Nairobi. And when I get visited in Thailand, I was invited to attend visit different hospitals that offer different services. But one of the areas that I was fortunate enough to visit was the Islamic Halal Science Center based in Chulalongkorn University in Bangkok. And I visited there, met the founder and the director, Dr. Rwania Dahlon, and I was really impressed what I saw. And we tended to think about halal, the food we eat. For example, when you go to a restaurant, you think about eating whether it is halal, whether it's properly slaughtered, or whether it complies with Islamic Sharia. But there are other issues that I never expected. I never even thought about myself. And for example, what kind of oil we use our body is halal. What kind of tablets we eat or we use when you're sick. What kind of component that consists of. What kind of other items we use. To some extent, even what we wear. You know, you'll be surprised that some of the glasses you use of eyeglasses, they may have bones made of some other animals that's not halal. So it's very comprehensive. So when I met the ambassador of Thailand, we agree in principle that I think it would be a good idea for them to come to East Africa and visit us. I think they agree in principle and they are here for us. And I'm very much pleased that Jamia Mosque has taken the leadership to also embrace this. And I think next day it will be a one full day workshop on Tuesday the 26th. It will be held at Jamia Mosque. But one issue that also people have to realize is that the business of halal is expanding throughout the world. So it has a huge significance in East Africa as well.
Okay, the venue of this Halaal Scientific workshop has been said that it will take place here at Jamia Mosque, right? Maybe what's the collaboration or what is the role of Jamia Mosque in terms of this workshop?
You know, Jamia is the premier masjid in Kenya.
Okay.
And anything halal, we should be the first ones to talk about it. So alhamdulillah, even when the ambassador came and we met the ambassador in his office sometime last week, they said that when the professor was when they mentioned this thing will be at Jamia, the professor said, I know Jamia Mosque. So even the professor coming already knows and has approved of the venue. But I think also because of the centrality of the mosque here, it is easy accessible, and we will use our multipurpose hall here for the workshop, so that people can come and learn about this. And we are basically targeting institutions that in farms that in every day of their existence, they somehow have to manage the halal issues. They have to deal with halal, whether it's in food, whether it is in textile, whether in some of these, even in medicine. There are a lot of areas where we need to understand. And the goodness with this is that it goes up to the issues of DNA testing. You know, so it is not your local, how you slaughter. You know, that one we all know. You know, did you look at, did you go face the Qibla and did you say Bismillah Allahu Akbar? Did you do that? That is part one. But there are other issues, you know, DNA and other issues that we want to hear the professor say, so that people can get that knowledge. And we can see how it can assist us here locally through our Somali brothers who are here and other Africans who are here to learn and disseminate this information as much as possible. And also linkages, you know, linkages in trade, because halal, as the ambassador said, halal industry is growing and we need to take lead in terms of guidance. Of course, the business people will already form the networks and move ahead. But in terms of guiding the community, Jamia Mosque always wants to take the lead so that the community is safe.
Okay. Now, Your Excellency, you've talked about, you've given us quite a story of how this workshop will come about next week, inshallah. Now, what's the main objective of this Halaal Scientific workshop?
I think there are two major objectives. One is to raise the sensitivity surrounding halal issues. As I mentioned to you earlier, people to think halal for only meat, but there are other components of halal.
Yeah.
There is also a service sector, of course, we know the banking and so on and so on. But I think the one that need to be focused on is also the traceability of what we consume and eat every day. And I think this will allow people to understand and appreciate. You really have to look beyond what you see in a daily basis. Okay. When you're buying an ice cream, for example, we need to also ask the question, is halal ice cream? Because the assumption here is that ice cream is halal. But in different parts of the world, and even including Nairobi, some of them are not halal, because some of them are made of whether it's wine component or other DNA component is available. So one aspect of the workshop is public awareness as such. But the second item also is, as you can see, the title of the workshop is Halal Technology Transfer and Global Networking. The idea is to transfer the idea back to the community. In other words, we don't want Jamia Mosque just to present it this, but we want Jamia Mosque to come up some idea and say, like, we don't want these people to come us every time and give us a presentation. Can we set up a location here? Can we collaborate? Can we do it? The center has what they call a database, enormous database. What the Jamia Mosque can do, for example, the second objective of this is that when they see an item that's new to them, that item they can send it to the center. Center will do DA testing, vigorous testing it, and forensic testing, and then they can send it back to the Jamia Mosque. And the mosque can actually then, and the community in Kenya can say, look, this is 100% we're sure it's halal. It's not 90%, it's 100% because it has to go through a scientific process. Those are the really two major objectives. But also we also wanted people of the business community. You know, the global supply chain has changed. It's quite increasing rapidly by the day, and sometimes food and product are made a different product that you never know about it. So we want the business community here in Kenya or East Africa at large to also play a role in terms of selling, in terms of when they're buying this item from a giant other part of the world. There is one, when you look the standard, whether this complies the Kenyan Standard Bureau criteria, you also have another criteria, say that is this halal, and you go through. So those are the real objectives we want this workshop to achieve.
I know most people believe that halal thing is only used by the Muslim community. You know, when you talk about halal, they know it's for Muslim community.
Yes.
And I believe other than Muslim community, there are other non-Muslim who are non-Muslim, other people who are non-Muslim. There are some few things, or quite some few things, that are not in their religion. Maybe you can talk about the halal issue on everyone.
We have, in terms of this workshop, we have invited, it's not restricted to Muslims. Actually, it's restricted to, it is open to any farm that either is seeking halal certification or has already gotten halal certification. And you know, we have something in a Kenya Bureau of Halal Certification. They go out and they certify from dairy to sausages to a lot of industries. So we are trying to seek those ones out. Then we have, of course, the opinion leaders. We have the religious leaders. We have people in other sectors and all that. But to come back to your question, halal means something is safe. You know, actually something is pure and safe and good to eat, or good to consume. You know, so I don't see any contradiction. I think for those who are non-Muslims, it is even good for them to learn what is all this and to see how they can partner with us. I know one ambassador, one farm, which when they went for inspection, they're dealing with sausages. Let me not name it here in public TV. And when the Muslim group went to tell them, no, this whatever process you're doing is not very halal, they said, no, we will just give you a separate place for you. They said, no, that's not enough, because things will still mix up. They agreed to set up a different factory, a different totally different farm, different name even, and said this one will be purely on halal basis, and you come and advise us how we do it. You know, and you see those kind of collaborations, you know, is what we want, so that people can actually benefit from that, from this.
Yeah, and I would like to add to also that the halal business is growing quite rapidly. And last year's estimation was about 2.9 trillion economy. And that's increasing. So the potential, the world is also realizing in various levels is that halal is good for your health, whether you're Muslim or not Muslim. So therefore, the market is increasing quite rapidly. On the side of the halal itself, as you just heard a few minutes ago, there is an issue here in Kenya, Nairobi, for example, Somalia as well, where you have a restaurant that has a big certification of halal. What we ask at the center when they come here, we ask them to do a voluntary basis, what we call a halal audit restaurant. So in other words, if your restaurant ready, when they come here, the center comes, we would like them to visit your halal, and they do audit. And if you succeeded, they will give you a global halal, not halal certification or accreditation from Kenya, but you really get a sign saying that your hotel can actually post it in their website and say that this restaurant, this hotel, restaurant is globally accredited halal, so it has 100%. So it's a business. So encouraging them also through the mosque. If you have any restaurant who want to be challenged and give some skills and training, and one of them is the issue of how to separate. You know, we're looking here at DNA. We're looking at very minor. You might have some place you cut pork, and then next day you clean it and go on. No, that's not enough, because still scientifically, laboratory testing, DNA tracing, that can be traced. As a Muslim, you don't allow a 0.000% SSL halal haram. So therefore, we can those restaurants, we already select a few of them, and we encourage them to come forward, and then you get the skills. You be trained.
Okay.
No one exposes you, but you will get a comprehensive halal audit and genuine feedback, and then skill training of your staff, and then from there on you get a certification in which you can actually claim that this is a globally halal certified restaurant or hotel.
So we want to move from the local issue now to a global level of certification.
Now, this is an impact. It will be impacting the East African countries, right? And we can see that the venue of the event, or this significant event, is in Nairobi, right? In Kenya, in Nairobi to be specific. And it's an East African countries thing. Why was Nairobi chosen as the host city for this event?
Well, maybe one main reason, first of all, Somali Bureau Standard, Somali Chamber of Commerce, Somali Minister of Trade will be coming here to participate in this. So it's not only a Kenyan thing. But why only Kenya is that I think this is a very unique place where a large quantity of export comes through Kenya. For example, Kenyan Mombasa port, a number of countries, Rwanda, Tanzania, Burundi, and others, utilize it as a venue where their product comes through. So it's a natural Kenya to be the place to start. But eventually what we are suggesting, and what Jamia Mosque and leadership will also have to discuss with the center, that can we take this thing and then actually have a large air to bring other regions together, B, to hold exhibition under Jamia Mosque, for example, just an idea, so that exhibition of halal, genuine halal, will be held here, sponsored by Kenyan government, but also under the East African community platform. And B, also the center itself of Thailand to be encouraged to go and visit these countries and help them. For example, in Somalia, the challenge we have is that when you look at the pure standards, and I think Kenya is the same thing, when you go, when product comes in, the first thing they look is it is expired, is quality good, but no one adds the concept, is this halal? So what we are now sensitizing is that now another component has to be added. So therefore, when you're giving certification, you also add, this is certify meeting standard of food consumption or consumption of anything, but also is assured is halal, so that the center can also go to other regions and actually do it. But this will be an amazing event that will really open its eyes for everybody, but also contributors to Islam as well, because we're now sure that we're not only relying on words, people tell us that is halal or haram, but now we have a scientific-based halal complying with the Islamic Sharia court, with also complying to health of human beings. So this will be an opening. I can only imagine when this event happen, later on we may also have other countries might request to also come. But there's another meeting that's coming up on the 28th, on Thursday. That will be held at Pan-Afrique, and that will be a big, huge public lecture where Professor Wani and Dalan, who's coming, and his team will make a very comprehensive presentation, lecture, Q&A. The one of Tuesday here in Jamia Mosque is different compared to the other one. The other one is a public, anyone can come, anybody can question, and we're also expecting maybe highest level of Kenyan government may also attend that workshop, that presentation, I think, yes.
Okay. Coming to your brother side, yes. Jamia is part of this initiative. I know the event has not taken place yet, but maybe I believe you have that picture in mind of how the event will be, of how the impact will be to the entrepreneurs or the business people that will be attending the event. So probably as Jamia, what's the future plan in years to come concerning the halal consumption?
Thank you very much, Zamzam. The idea, the future is to basically institutionalize halal framework in Kenya. We are hoping maybe we can talk to our brothers from Thailand, and if they can replicate, rather than becoming every now and then, they can replicate that entire scientific research center somewhere here in Nairobi. Where we can look for partners, we can look for people who are, I'm sure, they'll be more than ready to so that we can scale up, and this can serve the East Africa region, Kenya, Somalia, Uganda, and all these places. And that is, for me, that is a vision that I think we can work on. But of course, that is long term. It's subject to discussions and a lot of other issues. But for me, if we can now institutionalize, strengthen, and ensure that when you say halal, it's like when you say something like omo, and everybody knows what you're talking about. Because still in some places in this country, if you say halal, people say, what is halal? Is that thing for the Muslims? That is not. That's why I asked that. Yeah, that is the people. That is what the people think. The halal is for the Muslims, and then it's like saying haram is not for the. No, halal means this is pure. It's good for you. Yeah, it is health. It is health-wise. It is better. It is. It has been checked, and there are some standards. And if you look at even the restaurants, right now, some years back, you could find it very difficult to get halal restaurant in Nairobi, but alhamdulillah, through some of our brothers, there are over 40. Just in town here, there are over 40 halal restaurants, which you could easily go and get halal food. So this is a good thing for us. We just want to our vision is to raise it up from the way we used to do it locally, just to make sure, is the chicken hasn't been slaughtered by a Muslim. Even some of the questions are very, but to raise it now to an international testing level.
Some of these chickens, sometimes they are being injected to make it look big.
Yes, those are some of the questions. Those are some of the questions we wish some of our doctors, some of our scientists can ask. If a chicken is injected by steroids, what is the meaning of that? And if there are some negative health implications, is that still halal for me to eat? Of course, it's an area where we have also to be guided by ulama. We don't want to scare everybody. And you can walk in town and say, no, I cannot eat anything anymore. No, but we want people to be aware. And to make the right choices based on information.
Okay. Yes. Now, Your Excellency, Somalia is part of East Africa, right? And it is part also of this initiative or this significant event that will take place next week, inshallah. So how is the Federal Republic of Somalia contributing to this effect, to this event, and its long-term goals?
Well, the whole concept, it came through the Embassy of Federal Republic of Somalia here in Kenya. So we are the center of it, and that's why we expanded and include our other East African community. For us, as you know, Somalia, unlike Kenya, is 100% Muslim. And therefore for us has a bit more urgency, because having 100% Muslim, but at the same time, almost 70 or 80% what we consume come from outside, like Kenya, and therefore it also affecting us in that level. So the government is committed, and the Somali Chamber of Commerce, Somali Minister of Commerce and Industry, as well as Somali business are very much interested and to see and raise their awareness. So our expectation will be next trip of the center will be to Somalia, so to give more comprehensive education awareness of how to identify, how to prevent it of any prohibited materials into our food in Somalia. So we're very much forefront, but also I think as time goes by, and Jamia also can play a role, I think, as Brother Saeed says, that this could also, we can take this to other countries in East Africa, definitely, where under the context of East African Custom Service, where East African hold a big, large conference to deal with it. Because as the time goes by and as more halal demand increases in East Africa, 400 million people, and the number has been increasing in terms of population-wise, then that requires a lot of scrutiny of what we consume. So I think East Africa in large will be welcoming it, but Somalia at this point in time is taking the lead because of the reason I just tell you.
Okay, no problem. So what mechanisms are in place to ensure the sustainability of this collaboration after it concludes?
Well, I think collaboration right now is four of us, four institutions. One is a Somali embassy here in Nairobi, the Royal Thai Embassy in Nairobi, Jamia Mosque, who is playing an important role, as well as Halaal Center. And I think once this initial workshop ends, then we will put our heads together and decide where to go next. One thing is very clear in my mind, is that once this workshop takes place, we might also have Kenyan government playing a role, particular Minister of Health coming into this, who might want to contribute this in terms of increasing public awareness or taking this road trip to various communities. But that will be done in conjunction with the center. But I agree, Brother Saeed, that one of the issues that we have to think about, how can we really make sure that, because the workshop is transfer technology, we would like to, that transfer should be transfer takes place. So the Jamia Mosque can play a role in terms of other institutions can we bring, can play a role, and therefore the center's transfer takes place. It might take a time, but eventually there has to be some collaboration with the local institutions. And my understanding is that either Monday or Thursday next week, they will be having meetings, private meetings with a number of institutions, including university here, Islamic University as well, to find out what is the best way to escalate to a higher level, but also allow the center to become sustainable rather than one-day event.
Oh, thank you so much, Your Excellency. Because you can see that time is limited, you don't have much time. Maybe one word on maybe the breakdown of the event.
Yes, as Ambassador has told us, we will have the workshop on Tuesday, starting about maybe 8:39 all the way to Asr time, around 4. Inshallah. This is, the workshop is on invited guests. There are some guests that we have invited, some participants that we have invited. Then we will have the open forum, which will be Pan-Africa Hotel on Thursday 28th, starting about 5 o'clock or thereabout. And we've been given all the time we want, so 5 to 6, 6 to 7, depending on when the professor has had enough. So basically 5 to about 8. We will have, we have arranged a place for prayers there, so people should not worry. Those who want to come and they'll get Maghrib and Isha, we'll be able to pray there. And that is public for anybody who wants to come. They're free to come and ask those questions so that we can get more answers and see how we can move this discussion forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was really a very interesting conversation that we've had, and it's all about the Halaal Scientific Workshop. Mark the dates on your calendars next week, inshallah. And with that, my name is Zamzam Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.